Welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Rumble brought to you by DX Racer and Razor. I'm Storm, back with Hurix for our second set here in Group C. Hurix, it's going to be Selfless up against Envision. We kind of touched earlier on how this matchup might go, but we're headed right back to Nepal to get this series underway. Kingsborough for the second map and Numbani for the third one. Initial thoughts on this map pool, Hurix?
Well, I find it interesting that Nepal was the map that came out from the side of Envision against Selfless, who just picked it against LG Evil and just literally ran them over. Like, it looked so easy for Selfless. So with the second map being King's Row, I imagine that we are going to be seeing this once again kind of go in the way of Selfless. I think this should be a pretty quick matchup, just as we saw before, with Selfless just blazing their way through the group stage, I guess, where, I mean, really, two of the biggest oppositions that they had. I mean, still, you guys get paid with KSF is still a pretty solid team, but I think with LG Evil falling that short and with the map pool we see with Envision here, I mean, I'm not sure what to expect from you guys get paid, but I think Selfless should be able to just easy 3-0 this group out now.
Well, it looks like, if Selfless do take this game over Envision, which I anticipate they will, it looks like it's definitely going to be a battle for second. And I think that battle for second, given what we just saw there from Selfless and LG Evil, I think it's wide open for the taking. I really think that you guys get paid, Envision and LG Evil all have a pretty equal chance, if you ask me, given what we just saw there, to potentially move on to tomorrow. But we'll have more information on those matches as they progress throughout the night here. But we're ready to go here on the poll between Envision and LG Evil. Second set in Group C before we move over to Group D after this series to see what's going on with that. But nonetheless, to get things started here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Selfless just stick with what they ran before. It works pretty well for them. Maybe Envision, we're watching that last series and maybe have some insight as to what to do moving forward.
So we will see them pulling out that same combination, that Pharah Mercy with the D.Va. And again, I think the reason why they wanted to pull this out is just because this is one of the better maps in the pool for them to be able to pull this out with. Certainly here on Village, they have that opportunity to bring it out. And then, even kind of to some extent, Shrine as well, they could potentially pull it out. Although the Sightlands, I'm not sure if they're going to want to do that. But nonetheless, again, that same composition that we saw the last time with Selfless having Emong actually on that D.Va once again. And again, I just think Selfless is going to be able to do pretty well here. But they do have to contend with Sani here on the Pharah, who was able to actually do quite well against Hydration from CLG in that qualifier stage. So maybe Envision actually has a little something up their sleeve here with Sani. Even with this ping, might be a little nutty. We'll have to see.
Well, these teams have played before. They did play an Overwatch Pit qualifier in which Selfless took that match 1-0. Not a lot to really, go for there, but they did play in the past years. Right away, I'm looking for Sani to find some hits down to Defrain. Actually does move him all the way back, kind of be reserved. So they've got a 6-on-5 on the point. Let's see if they can take advantage of it, as I'm still looking for Coffee to pounce into the back line if possible. Doesn't want to be melted down by Sinatra. He's going to jump straight on to Kresnik here, and Envision really struggling to get a hold on this point.
But they are going to be jumping in, and Michael 3D finally finds that kill on Fire, and they do back the tanks away as Kresnik takes out Coffee, and that's going to be McGravy just trying to save his own life and his mech along with it. Sani in the skies right now, pulling back, getting taken down pretty low, but Fozix actually does manage to save his life, and Sani actually going to kill himself off.
Oh, man. I've just been watching Sinatra. His tracking here is just unbelievable. Coming out, of course, usually on that Tracer, but the Zarya has not been disappointing whatsoever. And now Sani, of course, like you just mentioned, is going to be moving over to Genji. Very, very dangerous on that Genji pick. And McGravy as well, moving over to the 76. So the full dive comp coming to fruition here from the side of Envision.
Yeah, they swap everything up completely with those 3 picks. And Fozix, of course, going over to that Zenyatta. But they are going to be behind in ult charge quite a bit now. And that became a problem for LG Evil. And now maybe Selfless can actually kind of punish them a little bit and just kind of hold on to that momentum. They already are doing a great job of that with 43% on the board in their favor. And now it's going to be Defran coming in that backline and trying to take out McGravy on that Soldier.
Ooh. Bullspawn comes out. Darkspawn picks up a kill. There's a kill as well. Coffee. Oh my goodness. They're starting to clean this one up. They find 3 for themselves. Self-destruct is out from Emong. Does he find anything? He finds 1 for himself. Defran as well starting to pick up a couple of kills. And just like that, finds another onto Coffee. What looked to be like Envision's team fight victory was all Defran and Emong coming through clutch for Selfless.
Really, I mean, just the ability for Emong to just kind of get everybody to turn around and give Defran that perfect opportunity to just throw the pistols right into their backs and just decimate them completely and easily turn the tides of that fight. Now at 80%, Selfless very much looking quite good again. And now that pulse bomb being thrown out as well, he actually gets boosted up.
They use the sound barrier here. Sinatra the first to fall. They lose Saney, though. It's a 3 for 2 right now. Fire going to be taken down to Fran with the nano boost. Really seems to be a valuable nano boost target, it seems, for Selfless, as they should be able to pick up this late kill onto the Winston, Coffee, and Dark Smoke. Both going to be taken down. And just like that, Selfless going to be able to take round number 1, 100-0. Looked like Envision definitely had a few chances to take the point, though, Hurix.
They had a couple opportunities, but Selfless, again, just so good at shutting those down. And really just a good coordination between those, and kind of the communication as well between a lot of these guys on the team, and certainly with Emong and Defran, their ability to turn that fight back around. We've already seen good combos come out from Sinatra and Defran as well. I mean, really kind of a lot of the time you see Defran being involved in these plays. I mean, that's really kind of what the composition was before, where you see them, you know, running that 2-2-2 with Emong still on that Roadhog, but Sinatra actually on the Tracer himself and Defran on the Soldier. It's just all about enabling Defran as much as possible. And now with this composition pulling out, it's all about, again, kind of enabling Defran, but on a different character and playing it in a different way. They put out the nano boost on him as well, as he's just so accurate, able to dish out the damage, find those really clutch picks, and you don't have to rely on that Soldier ult to do it as well, so you don't have to expend as much resources. But again, things are going to swap around as triple tanks coming out from both sides here.
Defran all the way behind them, looking for the flank. See if he can find a kill here on the Darksma. Darksma going to be the primary target. No, he's looking for McGravy. Gets booped back. He is actually going to get to safety. Both Reinhardts charging into each other, though it was actually Kresnik who was hit with a bio grenade. First kill on the Fire. Definitely a good start. And look at just Defran's pressure under the back line is too much for Envision to handle right now. He should know he's going to be taken down by Darksma, but in the end, I don't think it's enough for Envision to be able to move to the point.
What we didn't get to see was Dak actually, with the Lucio changes, he's able to get more aggressive and he's able to take on soldiers in that 1v1. And he actually booped Saney off of the map completely and pulled out that kill for his team and gave Selfless a huge advantage.
They used a nano boost onto Sinatra. We saw the Roadhog 1v1, and in the end, it was Darksma who came out on top. But Sinatra melts down McCreevy, finds the kill for himself, and losing Mong didn't seem to matter too much here as they do manage to sweep this one under the rug. 25% and counting, and still holding on to that Graviton Surge and Pulse Bomb combo.
They want to make good use of this, and they've already been so efficient with it. And again, you have to kind of wonder, why did Envision want to pull this one out? I mean, kind of discussed maybe why they could, but it is going to be the Graviton Surge pulling out and no shield on them at all.
Pulse Bomb didn't really get a whole lot of value. It did get a little bit of damage onto Coffee, but oh, there's an Earth Shatter coming out from Kresnik. It's onto the nano boosted Saney. And they do not make anything of that ultimate coming out there from Saney and Fozix, and that's really rough if you're Envision.
They're able to, I mean, they didn't get anything initially. I think they should have been able to get that wipe very early on, but it just didn't really kind of work out in their favor. Then to kind of pull out two ultimates on the other side, that was definitely a good position to be in, and now they're going to be backed up a little bit. Graviton Surge coming out. It's only going to affect Kresnik, and they save him.
They use the sound barrier here. They lose McGravy. They lose Coffee as well. Emong with his own whole hog. Saney was looking for the flank there. And Hurix, they went into that fight 6-on-5. Defran had been flanked there by Saney, and he actually got taken out. So they had the numbers advantage, but unfortunately not able to make anything of it here. 80% now. Do they lose Saney? Yes, they do. A good flank coming out there from Dak and Defran, ending up losing Dak in the end. But with 15 seconds to go, Selfless might have this in the bag.
And again, another Graviton coming out, and Sinatra actually going to come through with that nano boost as well. Has a bunch of damage on top of the downed Coffee there, who's on the floor, and now the Reinhardt is going to be taken out as he does get by the grenade, and they're just making a last-ditch effort, very, very desperate to get onto the point, and they are actually going to be still so low. Looks like they're going to get taken out, but Fire actually does find that kill, and it's going to be Selfless battling their way back onto the point, looking for some boot kills. That's going to be Dak actually pushing them back into this back corner as McGravy pulls out that very, again, kind of desperate situation here as he gets that. Oh, man.
Oh, Defran with the double kill and the Pulse Bomb way in the back. Picks up the kill on Saney again, who actually has the Tac Visor at the ready and using it. No nano boost came through from Fozix because the Pulse Bomb had killed him too early there. Defran twice now able to take care of business onto the 76 and the Ana. And just like that, Selfless putting themselves up 2-0 here on Nepal.
And again, now moving into the final map, which will be Shrine. I have to kind of wonder what Envision's going to pull out, because this is looking just as easy for Selfless as the LG Evil matchup was. And it's hard to kind of get a feel for who had a better performance, because both of them, it just seems like Selfless just routed them so easily. And now we are going to be seeing that dive composition come out for Envision. And again, just that same setup from Selfless. They just look so good right now. They look so composed. And really, I mean, pretty much everything has gone their way so far. There really hasn't been too many big blunders at all from the side of Selfless, and it's looking really, really efficient so far.
Well, we do know how good Envision can be, so we'll see if they're able to battle their way back here on Nepal, or if we're going to be headed to Kings Row pretty early here in this Group C matchup, as Emong does find a hook. It looked like he did. McGravy was the first to fall there. That's a rough start again for Envision, losing that 76, and you got to wonder, do they continue to move in? No, they're going to back off of this one. They lose Fozix, and it looks like Selfless want to continue to pressure them out here. They might be as aggressive to get into their spawn, but no, they're going to back off of this and, just secure the point with that one here.
And again, just their ability to win those first fights is incredible so far, as Envision is really going to have to do a lot of work to try to get their way back onto the point and secure it in their favor, because again, this point is just so difficult. But nonetheless, we will see Envision trying their best. Fran already finding a pick, and that's not going to look, I mean, that's really not going to bode well at all for Envision, who are again just getting really aggressive here on the back of the point. Dak going to be taken out though.
Oh, DeFran looking. Oh, he gets the pulse bomb stick there. No, he doesn't. It looks like it was. It looks like it had actually landed there, but unfortunately for DeFran, wasn't able to make the cut. They do get rid of Michael 3D, but is it enough to get the point flipped here for Envision? They lose Darksma again, and just cannot get a grip on DeFran and Sinatra here, and he's just going to continue looking for Fozix. They do find the kill onto him thanks to that Discord orb, and maybe an opportunity for them to look for a numbers advantage moving forward, Yurix.
Kresnik was sitting about 1 HP. Fire actually tried to make a little bit of a highlight play to try to take him out, but wasn't able to get him. Kresnik was able to get the heals, not only from that big health pack, but also from his team. And now they're going to jump back in here. Fire looking for an opportunity to sound bear as soon as he can get it up, but it's going to be Selfless pushing through again.
Dragonblade just denied the fire strike from Kresnik. Immediately takes down Saini as he unsheaths the blade, and Saini was looking for the immediate kill onto Sinatra, but realized just a second after that Sinatra was given the nano boost, so he tried to change his course of action, looking for the tanks, and just got sideswiped by that fire strike. 25% to go. One final opportunity here for Envision.
Sound barrier for both sides, and Fozix actually this time going to be able to get that transcendence, as we saw Rob420 kind of falling a little bit short from LG Evil when they faced off against Selfless on this map not just a couple minutes ago.
Backvisor though coming out here, Transcendence as well. They're gonna blow everything using a sound barrier. Graviton surges out from them. Pulse bomb as well. They don't even need it, as McGravy was taken down by his own Helix, if I'm not mistaken here. Still, we're at overtime and ticking here. They've got the numbers advantage for Selfless. Saini gonna be taken down, Fire under a lot of pressure as well. The Primal Rage Winston trying to do work here from Coffee, but in the end, they only find DeFran. The Pulse bomb able to get a little bit of damage as Kresnik taken down. They have an opportunity. They have 4 here on the point. They might be able to pull this back in their favor, Yurix.
Dark, who was taken out so easily in the last couple of fights, finally finds some great pick potential, but still not enough as Sinatra pushes everybody else off the point. Coffee falls, and that's going to be an easy win for Selfless as they take Nepal. And now moving on to their pick of Kings Row, you can't help but think that Selfless is just going to be able to run their way through this group straight into the playoffs.
I thought Envision had an opportunity there. They had 3 or 4 back on the point, but again, another nano boost put onto Sinatra just helps them push them off the point and secure that one for themselves. Another 3-0. Selfless are now 9-0 here on control point in Group C. Now it's standing record, but like you said, headed to Kings Row for the second map, which again is their pick, and a pick that hybrid maps they excel in hybrid maps. They excel in most payload maps as well here with their aggressive playstyle. What do you think an Envision needs to do to turn this around?
Oh man, I think there's just too many issues. And it's not really, a breakdown on their part as much as it is just Selfless playing just so well at the moment. I mean, they're really playing quite well again with the synergy of their front line, with Sinatra kind of coming in and emboldening that a little bit, as well as since he's been moving over to the Zarya, it's been giving them a little bit more structure, I think, especially given the fact that already Emong and Kresnik are very good together. I mean, you see a lot of times Kresnik getting poked down a little bit from behind, and we actually did see I believe it was McGravy. It was either McGravy or Saini. I think it was Saini actually when he was on the Genji, just poking down the back of Kresnik a little bit, and that's going to hurt Kresnik a lot. Certainly, you see a lot of tanks taken down from things like that, with just not being able to respond to too many threats. But Emong for Selfless is just so good in that role of just being able to communicate not only to his tank but also to some of the DPS players for them to kind of make that easy pivot and just go over, shut that down. And oftentimes you see Emong actually doing it all by himself, where he's able to find that hook kill pretty easily and able to shut down that DPS player and just, again, give them those small little advantages, just with kind of communication and situational awareness just at the front line.
Well, we're going to be heading to Kings Row for the second map. Selfless will be on offense to get things started here, and we'll see what they're actually going to bring out here. The first time we get to see them today, not on control point. So you got to wonder, do they stick with what they've been running here, putting Dufresne on that Tracer, Sinatra on the Zarya, and keeping the rest of the team pretty much what they ran previously with their hold comp, their very aggressive playstyle comp. So I'm interested to see if they do run this on offense and defense, and to see what kind of play style we have from them, because I'm not sure if it lends as much to that without Dufresne on that 76 providing that long range DPS threat. I don't know. What are you thinking about that?
Well, there's two things that I'm thinking here. I mean, obviously, yeah, I would like to see their old composition because they were just so strong with it. But given the changes to Lucio, I think this is kind of twofold why they've kind of adjusted things. Not only can they play more collectively with Sinatra joining the tank line than everybody else, I mean, even Dufresne can kind of stay inside of that Lucio aura as well. And really with Dak being such a strong Lucio, I think that does benefit them. But as well, with the Zarya change, I think they are also able to get a lot more value out of that Graviton Surge that Sinatra is able to get very, very effectively, as we see him just getting those, I mean, charged up so quickly. So again, I think it's a little bit twofold. It both helps them and hurts the enemy as well.
Ooh, Saini narrowly dodging that hook coming out from Emong. They're getting pretty aggressive off this. They actually do manage to split up the rest of the team at this point as they lose Dufresne here. Dufresne was around the side. He gets taken down. There's a charge coming out from Coffee. 2 kills in the bag and pretty much a team fight secured for Envision, though they do have the longer spawn. So maybe an opportunity. Oh, do they find the sleep dart? Do they get the pick onto Emong? He's going to be taken down as well. And Envision looking strong to get the defense started.
Not only that, but with the way that this fight is actually occurring, I mean, we are going to be seeing Dak and Kresnik pull out some kills, and maybe we will see Selfless battling their way back in. Look at Dak's positioning actually in the backline. He's going to jump right into the point. That's going to force these guys back, but actually, it's Dufresne coming through with 3 kills as Selfless off of respawn, disjointed as could be, jump onto the point with no opposition. They should be able to cap this out.
What was that? Kresnik drops a shatter as well. He did just hit the side of Darksma, but I don't really think that mattered in the end because Dufresne just came alive again. So he is going to continue to be very aggressive here. They secure the first checkpoint. 5:15 to work with. That is an abundance of time. They lose the Tracer, but in the end, not really sure it's going to amount to too much as that payload hasn't even moved.
Yeah, they're still in that kind of dead zone area. Nice hook coming out. Almost shut down Phozix, but not. Oh, actually, Emong going to be able to find that kill, and he's going to go for a heal. Might actually, I mean, he's going to need some healing if they want to keep him up in this one. Kresnik going to be able to take out Coffee, so Selfless with a great ability to now push this through. Tasani jumping on the point because the rest of his team is dead. Yeah. Just wants to contest it a little bit, try to take a little time off the clock, but they're going to be able to push this one through the archway here.
That is such a long spawn as well, so it looks like they're just going to move the payload with a couple of guys. A little bit different. Usually we only see one sit on that payload and the rest of them get a pretty aggressive. Okay, now they're going to move that 5th one off of this one. Play very aggressive. They have a lot to work with as well here. So it's going to be 5 ults up against 5 ults once Emong has that whole hog at the ready. I'm looking for a big combo here from Sinatra. There's the Graviton Surge. Pulse Bomb's out there as well. Does it stick? He finds nothing as the sound barrier comes out as well from both ends and the whole hog as well. I mean, in the meantime, you have to remember the payload is actually moving pretty far forward here. So we'll have to see what Envision's able to make of this.
Michael 3D pulling back, actually getting kind of zoned off as McGravy finds that kill, and still Selfless fighting in this one as they're pushing this ever forward, and that's going to be Kresnik coming through on the point, is going to be forced to either back off or get killed, and McGravy actually, who did get boosted, is going to be taken all the way back, and I don't like the nano boost usage there, as I don't think it was necessary at all. They only had 2 people left on the point, and they didn't get anything out of it.
Well, the payload has been pushed to the point now where one team fight will secure this second checkpoint here for Selfless. Is Dufresne still getting pretty aggressive? The Sinatra's taken down. Maybe a little too far out there, unfortunately, for himself. So this might make them back off. No, they're going to go ahead and use a nano boost here onto Dufresne. He's going to get hooked in and just dropped by Darksma. Graviton surges out from McGravy as well. That should be team fight secured for Envision, but unfortunately not enough follow-up to really find the picks just yet. There goes Emong. Kresnik going to be taken down as well. And there's a hook as well from Darksma to finish it off.
Very fortunate situation to be in if you're Envision here, as they were able to find those initial 2 picks on probably 2 of the more valuable targets from Selfless. I mean, if you're looking for two of the biggest picks, you're looking at Defran and Sinatra for sure, and having Sinatra fall out, then Defran right after, especially as the Nano Boost goes out. Again, just a really, really fortunate position to be in, and not only that, just where the payload is as well, just to be able to take that extra time with Selfless forced to just run their way all the way back off of that incredibly long spawn. That's definitely very good for them as well.
Oh, Pulse Bomb gets it started. The sound barrier a little too late as well. Graviton Surge comes out. There's an Earth Shatter. Doesn't find much, unfortunately. The follow-up isn't enough here as Imong now going to unleash the whole hog into the Reinhardt in the back. It's him and Dak up front. They might be able to sneak this one. Yeah, I don't think they're able to make it back in time. Fire trying to get here in time. They do find the hook. He's going to be taken down. There's Darkspawn as well, trying to be the savior for his team as the rest of Selfless get the second checkpoint here.
Emong with those last 2 kills, despite the fact that he did get hooked in by Dark, it was just a little bit too much pressure with Dak there as well, and Emong able to close that one out. And I think Dak probably would have been able to do just the same, or at least boop him off while he was healing to secure that objective. So either way, I think it was going to work out for Selfless, no matter how that last little Roadhog duel went. But Sound Bear now at the ready for Selfless.
Attack visor out from Sammy, gets the nano boost as well, Hurix, but it's into a sound barrier, so nothing really going to be bought off of this one. He doesn't find any value. Able to zone him back a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't think that's enough, though, to really justify it. Kresnik was taken down, Dak way in the back as well. And I think at this point, you know, if you're Envision, you just continue to get aggressive. Should be able to find these last couple of kills and force another regroup to come out here from Selfless.
Honestly, Envision has been taking out a decent amount of time. They've been actually contending pretty well here against an attack from Selfless that usually is just crazy hard to defend against. But again, a little bit different from the side of Selfless, as again, Sinatra not on that Tracer and instead on that Zarya pick.
This is Envision, like you said, I'm really impressed with how they've been able to hold here. You don't see this too often from teams you just don't hear a whole lot about, I guess. You could say Graviton Surge out, though, from both ends. There's a sound barrier. It's into the whole hog. Is it enough to get the job done here from Emong, who's under a lot of pressure? Sammy, the way in the back here, he's actually tearing it up. There's the attack visor coming out from Defran. He's trying to save the day for his team. Is it enough to get the job done? He is going to get some good heals, but in the end, it looks like Envision might have an opportunity to hold him off. Sinatra now moving over to moving over to Bastion. That's a surprising pick.
So Fire actually was able to contest that point for quite some time, and he's going to be able to come off a respawn pretty quick and re-engage with his team. But now Envision with another fight that they are able to take before this is all over. And again, Sinatra on that last pick of the Bastion, just trying to close things out, and really they're just going to try to hold him out in the back line, and Dark actually pulling them out of position. This is really good for them, actually.
Attack visor from Sammy picks up 1 kill there. Is going to be able to push them back all the way. 143 remaining on the clock. Not a lot of pushes actually left in the back. Sinatra under a lot of pressure. He's going to be taken down. Coffee, Sammy finding the kills for themselves. And Envision looking like they have a real shot here to make the hold before the 3rd checkpoint here. With 130, that's not a whole lot of time remaining to make a few pushes.
Now you have to wonder, is Envision going to be able to hold out? Again, I just don't like that pick from Sinatra, as we saw some really good movement come out from the side of Envision, especially with Dark sliding over on that Roadhog to basically prevent him from having that free shield from Kresnik. And now forced to swap over to the Genji. This is kind of desperate times here for Selfless, as they're looking to try to close this map out, and it would be unlike them against Envision to not be able to close this out. But he gets slipped. It's going to be a sleep onto Kresnik.
Shatter comes down as well. Is it enough to get anything done? It looks like that will be the case. Sinatra up top here. They're just all going to take a dip off of the map as Sinatra trying to get his ult charged up, it seems, for maybe one final push. He's at 77% now. And going into this next fight, Hurix, I think it's going to be 6 ultimates ready to go for Selfless. I think this could be their final opportunity.
It's going to be in the last fight here. I mean, it might be extended all the way to the point if we do see Selfless pushing through, and Saini not able to get into that really nice position as he was before. And we do see Tac Visors at the ready for both teams. We do see the Nano Boost coming out as well.
Graviton Surge is able to find a few guys into it. Actually, like all 6 if I'm not mistaken, but no follow-up. There's an Earth Shatter coming out from Kresnik. The Dragon Blade as well from Sinatra cleans this one up. He finds 2 kills for himself. They use everything. All 6 ultimates used there from the side of Selfless. It's going to go into overtime no matter what here. Do they have the people to get back to the point in time? It looks like they do contest, though. Is it enough, Hurix?
Defran in a great position here on the Soldier. This is exactly the Selfless that they like to play as, and Dark going to be eliminated as well. Fire going to be dropped, and again, just so much space created for that back line. That's going to be McGravy taken out. Foz is going to be dropping soon as well, and that will be overtime all the way through. Selfless able to find that 3rd point, but man, in overtime that they do it. And again, just not used to seeing that from Selfless. Envision with a great defense.
Yeah, you don't see that happen. I mean, you really don't see that happen, especially against a team like Envision, a team that, you know, they haven't really put up the greatest results. They put up some decent ones at that. I mean, looking at who they played, they lost to CLG in the Rumble qualifier 1-2. Other than that, they lost to Get Paid in the monthly Melee qualifier 0-1, but they really haven't played a whole lot of other teams of this caliber. To be able to put up a defense like that, despite losing all 3 checkpoints, is pretty impressive, I'd have to say, from Envision's side. So now their opportunity to see how far they're able to get, and if they're not able to get all 3 heroics, they will be dropping this series 0-2.
Now we have to see what kind of Selfless defense we're going to be seeing. I mean, typically, again, used to seeing Selfless running that double DPS with Sinatra on the Tracer himself and Defran on the Soldier, but not going to be the case, as they're just opting for that same combo again, as we talked about before. It just gives them a little bit of advantage when used with the Lucio, and Dak actually has been very pivotal for them. I think he's been very integral into this composition this time around, and I think he's kind of pushed his way back up, whereas before, you know, Kresnik sitting on that payload for most of their attacks, and then Dak kind of coming back as well sometimes to be in that same position. But really, I think this time around, it's really given Dak a little bit more to work with, because not only does he have a little bit more DPS, but he's also more mobile, and a Lucio like Dak is able to kind of make the most of that. But on the attacking side, we do see actually McGravy on the Pharah, which is not the first time that we've seen this, but typically you would see Sani in that role. But given the fact that they do want to run that Genji, that's why you see it kind of swapped around. And if McGravy doesn't have too much value on this pick, we will see him swapping to something else, more than likely something like a Soldier or something like that, probably a hit scan.
Well, final opportunity for Envision. They need to cap out this map if they want an opportunity to move it to Numbani for the 3rd one in this series. As, like you said, we've got the Pharah, but no Mercy coming out here. They're still going with that triple DPS setup. Phosix on the Zenyatta as well, getting pretty aggressive. Rockets into the backline from McGravy. Is it enough to find anything? Nice. Concussive Blast actually puts Kresnik way out of position there from McGravy. They find the first kill here, so maybe an opportunity for Envision to find themselves with a quick cap.
I really like this setup, actually. They've been able to zone Selfless back through that archway, and Defran getting a little bit overzealous actually does get taken out. Sinatra pushing on to the point, is able to find a kill himself, but again, they're just holding right onto the point. McGravy just hovering right above inside of that Lucio aura, and Emong is going to be dropped there as well, as Envision looking to try to clutch this one out.
No one is dealing with the Pharah up top. Finally, as I say that, Sinatra is able to melt him down. Dragon Blade out already coming out from Sani. Can he find the kills? Finds one onto Kresnik, not with the Dragon Blade though. Dak will be taken down. And just like that, Envision securing the first checkpoint here in a rather impressive time. I think pretty similar to what we saw there from Selfless.
And Defran trying to be a little bit more elusive this time around, as the fact that he was taken out in that last one kind of gave Envision a lot of room to work with when he just kind of rushed right at that statue. But nonetheless, we will see Envision looking forward, trying to establish some picks, and certainly McGravy now trying to get that barrage at the ready, as really I think he was very, very impactful on this pick so far in terms of just zoning these guys back into the archway and looking for that barrage. Drops it down, actually gets picked off immediately.
Oh, that's not a good start. Pulse Bomb sticks onto the Winston. He tries to dive to safety, but Coffee going to be taken down here, and a clean sweep for Selfless this time around. Definitely puts a stop to that payload, and this is where we see them get pretty aggressive. Heroics, we'll see what they want to do with this one. They have a Grab Surge to work with, as well as both support ultimates.
Now, this is the Selfless we're used to seeing on defense, right up next to that spawn, man. And typically you would see a Soldier up top or something like that, but they don't have that. And already we see Envision swinging around. They actually get caught in the back a little bit, as Emong and Sinatra find two.
That's a grab surge from Sinatra. He's able to actually scoop up both supports in that one. He will be taken down. They lose 2 guys. Kind of wonder if they want to back off of this one. Dak is one of those guys coming off a respawn with Sinatra here, but they're going to continue with this. Sani, under a little bit of heat, is able to get to safety as a Primal Rage was popped from Coffee. Is he going to be taken down? He's at 76 HP. Gets to safety, just narrowly avoiding that damage from Emong. And still, they're finding picks while even being at a far spawn disadvantage here.
And they might actually pull Kresnik out of this one. He actually did manage to get that charge off onto Fire, taking that kill, and he gets out into safety. McGravy is able to take out the Fran, but Selfless are going to be able to get everybody back together. They still have Earth Shatter, and they're definitely looking like they can actually contest this one on the payload again.
Have a pulse bomb at the ready. They're going to go ahead and use the whole hog from Emong to knock him back a bit. There's a sound barrier to get things started from Fire. Dragon Blade out from Sani. What can he get from it? Looking for something. Earthshatter comes through as well. There's a nano boost coming out onto the Roadhog as the pulse bomb from Darkblade. No, Emong finds the kill there onto Sani. Transcendence is out from Fozix. It's like a 3-on-3 on this point, if I'm not mistaken at this point. But there's a hook from downtown. They have no follow-up because Emong actually had to reload. And now McGravy with the Tac Visor should be able to clean this up.
I think a scary thing here is that they had to use the Tac Visor just to keep that momentum, and actually they were able to finally secure that, and they're trying to get aggressive now as Dark's running forward and trying to find the kill onto Sinatra. But look at all the time they've been able to pull off here. I mean, they've almost taken away half the time bank from that first point just in the streets phase, and now if they win this next fight, that's going to be huge for them, as they're definitely looking to try to even this one out a little bit, as their attack just wasn't that strong.
Yeah, they have an opportunity here. No ults from either side, though. They're nearing the Primal Rage from Coffee, but that's about it. Everyone else sub 50% right here as they start to move in here. We'll see if they're able to make anything of it. Primal Rage at the ready. Coffee might actually go ahead and pop this. He is going to. Emong, the first to drop here. Too much damage being punched out from McGravy. Coffee put to sleep. Maybe an opportunity for them to try to find some picks as Kresnik almost taken down multiple times. Eventually will be taken down. They have a pulse bomb at the ready from Defran, though. Is it enough to actually seal the fight for themselves as they keep losing guys? Nice stick. Finds the kill on the Coffee. Fozix is well going to be taken down. Graviton Surge comes out from Sinatra, and I think Selfless make the stand.
And now they just need to take down that last kill, which is going to be the Soldier of McGravy. And he does indeed fall 150 on the time bank here, as Selfless do finally make that hold again, taking another minute away from Envision. Their attack didn't look too solid, but they were able to go the distance. And now it looks like they might have an opportunity to shut Envision down before this second objective.
They did force out that Graviton Surge from Sinatra, which is pretty key. But still, they were forced to use a couple of their own. They have a Transcendence nearly ready from Fozix Tac Visor as well. They're actually nearing quite a few ultimates, so there's a lot to work with this remaining 120 here. But you gotta remember, still have another 90 seconds should they be able to get the second checkpoint to try to complete the map. Here's McGravy doesn't get the high ground. Dragon Blade's out from Sani, who has a sound barrier to protect him, finds a kill, gets 2 kills for himself, looking for a third. He gets hooked in, almost taken down. Transcendence keeps him alive, and Envision to be able to secure the second checkpoint off of this.
4 ultimates to secure that point, but they do manage to get it pretty cleanly. They don't give away any kills in the process, but still a lot of their resources allocated for that. And now we will see, with 50 seconds, that extra minute and a half comes through. Now 2:15 remaining here as they're getting through that last section of the map here in the factory. And now Coffee getting into position alongside Sani and just try to give him a little bit of support, but no one's really going to be able to contest, so he drops down and just jumps right in. Soundbear coming out as well for Selfless.
They're going to try to play very aggressive off this one. They have an Earthshatter should they need it. Pulse Bomb not able to find any kills. He actually does follow up on that one with Fozix, but it looks like Envision might just back off of this one. No reason for them to say they lost Fozix to get that one underway. Did force out just a Pulse Bomb from Defran, but he's already back at 50%, so really nothing lost there for Selfless.
Now again, basically Envision is staring down the barrel of just not a lot of time to work with at all. Again, they really have to win this next fight, I think, especially given the fact that Sani's pretty close to that Dragon Blade, but Dak, again, just kind of shutting down that entryway a little bit and almost taking fire out there, but Defran finishes the job.
Oh, that's not a good start, especially since at that same time, Coffee dove into the backline here. He's able to get to safety, but remember, what do you have to work with if you are Selfless? You've got so much at this point. 5 ultimates ready to go here other than Dax. And we'll see what they actually want to break out. There's the Earthshatter coming out, connects onto McGravy and Darksmo. They find the immediate kill onto both of them. They follow up off of Fozix as well. And just like that, another clean sweep coming out for Selfless here.
56 seconds. I mean, this is the point where you have to be scared if you're Envision. I mean, certainly it's looking kind of close to what Selfless had, but Selfless actually had a little bit more distance in their favor when they were getting down to this this mark in the time bank. But nonetheless, we will see Fozix pretty close to that Transcendence. And Defran already killing off McGravy again. Another 6v5 situation, giving Selfless a huge advantage before the fight even starts.
And you got to remember, at this point, where the payload's at, and it's being backed up all the way to that second checkpoint here, X. they're going to have to win 2+ team fights to actually secure it. So they would have to do it in overtime. Nonetheless, they're going to go for it. There's a Primal Rage. Dragon Blade out as well. Graviton Surge comes through from Sinatra. The whole hog, the Nano Hog is out. Sound Barrier to help him through. Sani not going to find any value whatsoever off of that. Dragon Blade Transcendence comes through maybe a little late there. Didn't save Sani's life, unfortunately, but I actually don't know if Fozix had it at the time. There's the Sound Barrier from Fire. Do they have enough fuel left to be able to complete the map here? So it looks like Selfless have the numbers.
Oh, I don't know. Fozix actually just one-shot right-click Defran with the alternate fire from the Zenyatta, just easily just took his whole head off there. Dark finding one onto Emong, and that's Kresnik following, so that's both tanks taken out, as well as the support line. It's nothing left. Selfless drop.
Well, you still have so much time to regroup, and looking at what we see from McGravy and Coffee, they're getting way up into the base. A late kill onto Sinatra. What are you doing out there, man? That's unfortunate, because now it definitely will come down to one final team fight. Both Tracers ready to go with the Pulse Bomb. Emong now on the D.Va as well. Let's see what they're able to find. Pulse Bomb's out there. Does he find a stick? No, not going to find any value whatsoever. A little unfortunate. Darksman on the other end didn't find much as well. Final team fight, Hurix. It's not even, oh, they leave the payload. They find 3 kills anyhow, Hurix, and just like that, Fire says, holy moly, in his chat. And that's going to be a quick 2-0 coming out for Selfless.
But again, they had a battle for that last one on King's Row, and I thought that was actually the map where they were going to do quite well in just overall today. But certainly, I think Nepal seems more like their map, at least as we exit the streamed matches for Group C. And that is going to be it for Group C, as we saw Selfless able to take 2 of their matches here on the stream. And definitely enjoyed watching them, as with their new composition, they still look just as strong as ever. But Envision putting up a little bit of a fight here on King's Row.
Incredible performance there from Selfless in both of their streamed games. They're 2-0 now in the standings, and just need to take care of business and get paid to be able to find a clean 3-0 in the Group C. But like you said, that's going to be it for Group C. We do have 2 more series that we'll be bringing you guys tonight. First up is going to be Envy up against Team Liquid, and then Envy up against NRG. Very exciting group. We are a bit ahead of schedule here, so any thoughts on those 2 matchups we have coming up next?
Well, I think there's going to be a little bit of interest in the Envy game, and I'm not talking about just seeing them back from Korea, but possibly some roster things going on there. We'll have to see what's going to come out of that, but we will be in that match in just a couple moments, so definitely don't go anywhere.
All right, guys. Like Hurix said, do want to remind you, we have a couple of giveaways in chat. We have exclamation point giveaway for, I believe it's from the sponsors, and then exclamation point giveaway 2 is from the teams that are giving away jerseys and whatnot. So be sure to do that in Twitch chat while we head to a break. Up next is Team Liquid and Envy going at it in that Group D. Don't go anywhere.